recording.
Shalom, we the Hebrew Israelites coming in, week week out. But first and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh,
Bashem, Yahushai,
Barakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to all your actions to earth through this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. So first thing I want to say, every week we come here, proclaim the downfall of this society, telling our people to come back to the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahushai, But first and foremost, I want to say to your females that y'all ain't shit, Y'all think you're special and shit, that y'all supposed to be the catch and all. Y'all ain't shit, man. The real catch are the elect men, the ones who doing the works of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, the hopeful elect, those are the real catch. Because when Yahushai is coming back, don't think that because you're pretty that you're gonna get saved, It ain't gonna save your ass,
Right.
And the majority of your females, you're gonna die anyway, And yeah, wait a minute. Let me first bring out Isaiah.
And I got a precept for that.
God. Then everybody can bring out the precepts.
God, just to back you up what you want.
God.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man that in gold a wedge of Ophir.
Yeah, and the gold of Ophir is a very fine gold, So right now, we men, especially the Israelite men, and it's talking about the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the so-called Indianos, they see us as shit, Those females, they see us like shit. They're like we are worth nothing, And of course, the majority of us, we're poor, basically, we just make enough money to keep our heads above the water, But and they think we are shit, we're nothing. But it's gonna be a day, Isaiah 4:1 speaks about there's gonna be a day, then they're gonna see. That's the spirit, man. And they're going to see, how you said it, the worth of a man of the Lord, the Israelite man, They're going to realize it, and then it's going to be too late for the majority of your females,
That's right.
Because of course there are some women out there who try the best, but it's only a few, It's only a small number. Even and the same is for the men, It's only a small number,
Precept.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Bring your precept then.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, starting off at verse 33. The virgins shall mourn having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish with famine.
See that? That's a lot of lamentations, a lot of woe, a lot of evil times for your females waiting. A lot of evil times for your females waiting, So right now you think you're in a good case, You got all these females on the internet, What's the shit that you got? OnlyFans and whatever, all that shit that you got, Thinking you're important. You got all kind of stupid men, simps, spending money, sending you money for showing your pussy on the internet and shit, But you're worthless, man. You're gonna find out that you ain't shit, soon.
Precept.
This is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
Yeah, and that's talking even before the kingdom, This is talking about when the Yahushua is coming back and those men of the Lord. And this even can be before the spiritual powers, Because we got this understanding, this wisdom. We know what's going on, You got people here walking all around. If you just look around you, you see people walking there with a face mask on, having no clue, thinking that they are protected for something that they cannot see, which is not even real, You see how stupid people are, But we, to the spirit of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, see what's going on, We know what's going on. All these plans that they got with this vaccinations, talking about the majority of people needs to get this vaccination, otherwise it won't work. What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that for bullshit? I mean, like, if these vaccinations work, then you shouldn't be worrying about your neighbor not taking this vaccination, because you're protected if you take that shit, right? But people are stupid. They just believe it, blindly believe it,
Can I say something about that?
God.
And a lot of people are stupid, You got to realize that they had AIDS virus. They didn't have no vaccines for that. The flu. They've been had vaccines for that, but was there a cure? No. And the fact is that that this C19 came out, and all of a sudden they got a cure for it.
Yeah,
Right?
and
Which is not even approved or by the U.S. FDA, man.
yeah, you know what's funny? They got this cure in less than a year. You know,
Yeah, and it takes.
until this day they can't even cure cancer. You know, so it doesn't make no sense. But people are stupid, you know, they're willing to take it. But I don't give a fuck about your people because y'all need to die anyway. If you're stupid and ignorant and not appreciating what we doing here, you know, and look man, oh, we got jobs, we're working up, getting up a whole week, you know. Even on Saturday we getting up because of the curfew, you know. We're getting up, starting up camp early for y'all people, showing y'all the love. But do you appreciate it? No. And you're gonna realize it. But then it's gonna be too late for the majority of you.
Can I say something to that?
God.
Hey, it's true what the brother's talking about. We have jobs that we have to work. We also make videos week in and week out, man. Throughout the whole week, you know. We're making lessons to bring y'all in, man, into this fold. But a lot of y'all just reject this truth, man. And that's why the Most High rejected you, man, because that's why our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, man. Because y'all from before was doing the same shit that you're doing right now, man. You know, even going back to the time of Noah. Noah was prophesying for 120 years, man. You know,
Exactly.
the things are written from a far time, written for our learning, to see what happened in the past in order to understand and get right in the times that are to come in the latter days, man. What the brother's talking about. And that's the love of the Most High, man. That we
Exactly.
come out here for
Exactly.
these things, man.
Exactly. But yet people want to hate us, you know, talks all kinds of shit. But what does the scripture say? For every idle word, you know, everything, every thought, every vain thought, every bullshit that you were thinking, trying to say or want to say about us, you know, you're going to pay on that day when Yahushua is going to come back. And
So
you
back
got
in
the,
Isaiah.
yeah, God.
Isaiah 4:1, yeah. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
And don't think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 7 is a spiritual number. It's completion. You know, if a man decided to have 1 million females, women, he will have 1 million women on the day, on the period, you know. So yeah, and they're going to be all humble. You know, don't think that you're going to utter your opinion or whatever, you know, I don't feel like doing that. No, man, you better start cooking and cleaning and shit, taking care of the children, because the men of the Lord going to make a lot of children. That's also a fact, you know. So, so yeah, man, so hey, being pretty is not enough, you know. And we were speaking before the camp, you know, you got a Dutch saying, it says, you cannot eat from a pretty table, you know. So being pretty is not enough, you know. Right now, these females think by being pretty that they're gonna make it in society, you know, because that's how backwards the society is, you know. Pretty girls, she will get, you know, let's say for example, she goes for a driver license, you know, she can drive like shit, but she looks pretty, you know. Let the instructor touch her leg a little bit, and she will succeed, you know. Those things on school, you know, having sex with the teacher and stuff, you know, they get their diploma, you know.
Even with their bosses.
Yeah, even with the bosses, getting a good function in the company, you know, high function, you know, just by flirting and, you know, showing some cleavage and shit, you know. There's going to be a time where that's going to be done away with, you know. Your females who are now on the internet and shit, you know, there's going to be a time of war, then you're going to wear a curtain as clothing, you know. You're going to show nothing, you know. There's going to be a time those females are only going to show their eyes, you know, or even going to hide that, you know. There's going to be a time there because, hey, when shit hits the fan, you know, a lot of your females going to be raped, you know. Don't think, and there's going to be no 112 to call, you know, 911 to call, you know. It's good, that's going to be done away with. Yeah, they're finished, then I go.
Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel.
Yeah,
only
because in that day, those women gonna realize like, oh, these men are the only one who can protect me. I will do everything to make sure that he keeps me. You know, I will do everything. I will make I'll take care of my own clothing. You know, I will take care of my own food. You know, you don't have to feed me. I will take care of that. You know, they're gonna try their very best. That's total opposites from nowadays, you know. They expect you to take them out to dinner and stuff, you know. Okay, now everything is closed, you know, but then you have to take away food and shit, you know. They wanna, you know, they say it in the Dutch, you know, it's willen in de watten gelegd worden. I know how you say it in English. They wanna be, you
Pampered.
know, Pampered, yeah, exactly. They want to be pampered, you know. But yeah, hey, that's going to be done away with, you know.
That's right. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Exactly, because in that day, people going to know who the men of the Lord are. You know, and if a female is taken by the men of the Lord, she's going to be untouchable, you know. She's going to be untouchable. That, you know, that woman going to be untouchable, you know.
Precept.
And they're going to realize it. Yeah, let her finish that. Let's finish it.
Now, this is Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, 26, verse 16. As the sun, when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house.
Exactly, in the ordering of the house. You know, like in the book of Titus, it says keepers of house, keepers of home, you know. And that's talking about housekeeping. Those are the things that you're supposed to do as a female, you know. But they don't want to do that, you know. They don't want to do that shit, you know. Housekeeping, that means taking care of the children, you know, keep the house clean, make sure the food is done on time, you know. And don't expect a compliment for that, because that's the shit that you're supposed to do. You know, that's the shit that you're supposed to do as a female. Don't be like, but I'm taking care of the children every day. You know, I make sure every day there's a warm meal when you come from your job. Yeah, fuck you, that's your job.
That's right.
You know, and especially if you have a man of the Lord, because we be on the highways and byways, you know, standing in everywhere, the snow, freezing cold, burning sun, rain, whatever, we be here doing
In
the
the
works,
snow.
because if a man of the Lord gets salvation, that means his household also is saved. That means you as a woman is going to get the salvation, and your children also, you know.
Precept.
Because if a man, for example, if I don't make it, none of y'all make it, you know. That's how it is.
This is the book of Sirach 25, verse 1. In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before Yahweh and man. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
Exactly. Because in the book of Titus, I believe it also says, you know, it's important. You know, as a female, you don't have to do much. You know, a man go outside basically. You know, actually, you know, in this society is backwards, because you also got women that works, that goes to the job, but it ain't supposed to be like that. You know, a woman is supposed to be at home, taking care of the children, take care of the house. You know, a man go outside, he goes on the job. You know, make sure bring in the money. You know. So bring in the food so that the woman can cook the food, you know, and take care of the children. That's basically the job, you know. And all that your female has to do is, you know, make sure when your husband, when your man comes home, create a relaxing environment for him. Give him some rest. Don't start nagging him and shit and complaining about how difficult the child was or all kind of bullshit, man. No, we don't want to hear that. We already been on the job all day dealing with these heathens, you know. That's bullshit, man.
Happy life,
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life. Yeah, right.
You
It's
know?
miserable for the
yeah,
man.
but so yeah, as a female, you know, but yeah, in this society they've been put on a pedestal, and they think they're real special, you know, that they got a golden punani or something, you know. That's bullshit, man. And the punani ain't that special. All those females got a punani, you know. If you want to be special as a female, cook your man some dinner, you know. Massage his feet or something, you know.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like that, you know. You know, give him some rest. No nagging, you know. Don't complaining about nonsense and shit, you know. Just do what you're supposed to do without murmuring, you know.
I got the Titus if you want it. No?
Yeah, wait, hold it. And then bring this.
A couple of precepts, but this one is going to the house. It's Acts chapter 16, verse 31. And they said, Believe on the Lord Yahushai, and thou shalt be saved, and thy house. And they spake unto him the word of the Lord, and to all that were in his house.
Exactly. Believe in Yahweh Shai, and you know what we got to do as men, do the works of Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, you know, be on the highways and byways, you know. First and foremost, you know, you try your best to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you know, because not everybody is a teacher, you know. Some are helpers, you know. If you might know some people who are doing this work, you help them, you know, on the side, you know. We got a lot of brothers like that, you know. You know, everybody got a talent, and you know, you're gonna find out like, oh, I'm good at this, and I can help brothers with this, you know. Because not everybody's a teacher, you know. Not everybody's called out to be highways and the highways and byways and breaking down scriptures and talking to people and it's not for everybody.
Not everybody's a problem.
Exactly.
Everybody has their office. Scriptures talk about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their portion of their faith.
Exactly.
God is a gift.
Yes, it's 12:13. 12:13 or 13 or 12.
Yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments.
Exactly, because if you fear the Most High, you will automatically will keep His commandments. The same way goes for children. If your children fear you, it doesn't mean that they gotta be scared shitless from you. No, they fear you and they will listen when you tell them to stop doing something. When you tell them to stop doing something, they will listen. They will take heed. Same goes with the Most High. You're gonna take heed to His words. And what are the words of the Most High? They are written in this whole Bible.
Like my father, he whooped my ass. He whooped my ass. One time he was joking the shit out of me. He said, "Boy, I brought you into this world. I'm gonna take you out this motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? So he was fear of me, like, hey, don't be doing this crazy shit.
Exactly, because it also gives you the awareness of good and evil. Because as a child, you don't always understand, like, okay, why can't I do that? I see those other children do that, But that's the same example. If you got a child, your child is playing in the step, you see him grabbing some doodle and he's trying to eat it, you slap him on his hands and make sure he never think about doing that again. But if you see another child, you see an Edomite over there sitting in the set, try to grab some food and try to eat that, you grab your phone and film that and share that with the brothers, You're like, look at this little devil right here,
Precept.
I was just gonna say that. That was my spirit, man. I would be doing the same thing. Like, look at this dumbass.
Yeah.
Parents ain't around.
And the same thing is for us, The Most High only cared for the children of Israel,
I gotta say.
That's why we went into captivity. That's why you punish your child, because you care about him. You don't want him to go fuck up, to grow up to be a fuck up and claim that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a good scripture
bring
for
it
that.
up.
This is Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. He that loved his son causes him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end.
Exactly, because when he grows up, he's gonna be a well-mannered man. He's gonna have manners. And of course, you don't, control the whole life of your child, because at a certain age, sometimes people still, even for myself, you're still gonna make stupid decisions, from time to time. You're still gonna do that, You can't control that, but the least is you can give them a good foundation,
Because the scripture also talks about, if you basically train up your child in the way that he should go, he should not depart from that. So if you teach him from a young age to behave in a certain manner, to make certain choices, with reasoning, he's not going to depart from doing that when he's basically not doing.
Exactly, and that also reminds me of my father, because as a child, basically when I was 11 years old, I already started handing out papers, doing paper route, the neighborhoods and stuff. And then I started growing up, when I was like 30 years. And before I went to, middle school. So my father, he was always working in slaughterhouse. So So he took me to the work to the slaughterhouse. I had to start at 6 o'clock in the morning. So he learned me like, hey, you know, you want to buy some new shoes, you know, you want those Nikes and stuff, you want to walk with Jordans and stuff, you know. You better start make some money, then you can buy your own shoes, you know. And that's a very valuable lesson that he learned me right there, because you know, when I was younger, you know, first in the beginning I was like, man, I don't really want to work, you know. Then I was start working there, and I also had fun there, because you in that environment you got to be a man, you know, you got to be a man. And my father, he already had the name there, so they were like, oh, you're the son of, you know, and they say my father's name, you know, they say, oh, you're his son. And I have the same walk, the way I walk, you know, I walk exactly like my father, you know. So they're like, yeah, I see you walking, you're that's, you know, that's your father, right? And yeah, that's my father. You know, and so that also teach you how to be a man, because those are, you're dealing with rough men, you know. You had a couple of females there working there, they were talking shit to them, you know, like on the level, you know. That shit was funny, man. Yeah, man, gotta eat him out begging and shit, you know. It's just dope to see that, man.
Yeah, man.
I like to see that. He got Jake giving him money.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, children of Israel. The Lord loves everybody. Can you read it again? For those pastors and all those church goers, you know.
hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel,
Oh, children of Israel.
against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt,
The
saying,
whole family of Israel.
right,
And that's not talking about spiritual Israelites. It's blood related, according to the flesh.
Yes.
So, what you were talking about before, how the Lord is punishing us, right? This is what it's going into. Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Exactly. This is talking about he only know the children of Israel of all those nations that are wandering on the earth.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, you will only punish your child for doing something stupid. You ain't gonna punish another one's child because you don't care about that other person's child. You only care about your child. You want your child to be grown up and don't grow up and shame your name, right? You want to be proud on your children, right?
Yeah.
So the same way is for the Lord, for the Most High, you know. Man, especially you females, you know, Jacob descendants females, you think, you gotta realize how shitty you look in the eyes of the Most High by doing this shit that you're doing, you know, not respecting your man. And then you got a lot of females, you know, that are going to church, you know, talking about how they love Jesus and stuff, you know, not reading the Bible, not realizing if you don't respect your husband, you're going against the Most High. Because what is written there, I believe it says 2 Corinthians, you know, about the order.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
You know,
2 Corinthians 11.
you know, you need a woman is below the man. You need to respect your man. If you respect your man, you show respect to the Most High.
Yep.
You cannot think it to yourself like that you respect the Most High, but you don't respect your husband. You know, treat him like shit. You know, but you go to church everywhere, listen to every word that the fucking pastor says there, while he tries to get in your panty. You know, it's some bullshit, man. God.
It's the second Esdras, chapter 3, verse 32. Or is there any other people that know thee besides Israel? There was a generation that so believed that covenant as Jacob. As yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor had no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments.
Exactly. But time's gonna change, you know, because now until this day, people still thinking like we doing this work in vain, you know. But that's not the case. Soon they're gonna see Apostle to our name this year, Hastings, the coming of Yahushua, you know. And we hope, actually, we hope that it was yesterday that it came, say. You know, but yeah, meanwhile, you know, we have to be patient, you know, watching the things going on. You know, and he's therefore, he's busy with making some, you know, some video in the group app. There were a couple of devils, you know, super white people. They went in South Africa to a school and they wanted to vaccinate the children over there. Children were jumping out of the windows from high, from off the balconies, running, you know, running for their life, realizing, because there's also another video, that you gotta, I don't know the name of the devil he's talking about, they want to eliminate like 3 billion people in Africa, you know? 3 billion, and they're going to do it by vaccination.
So we're talking about in the world. They want to
Yeah, but they
kill 4
want-
billion, but then they want to start in Africa.
Yeah, they
because
want-
said that they're not a part of their.
the
Economic,
economic thing.
yeah.
And that most likely is starting in West Africa. That's our
Exactly. Don't forget.
their operations and shit like that. So that's why they can destroy us.
Exactly, because those elites know who we are. That's the thing. And they be watching our videos. That's why we always gotta watch our words, you know, how we gonna certain things, because they will take the whole video, you know, and saying, you know, that's a fact, true words. You know, they already put us on a list of terrorists. You know, you got the IEVD. You know, the CIA from Holland, you know, they're watching us, you know, how is it, they set up a special group for people who are watching people who are going against the Amalekites, you know, and we are the only ones who are on the highways and byways every week, you know, flooding the internet with the truth, you know, during the weeks, you know, and, you know, they know who we are, you know. They're watching us, and the only thing that we do is breaking out their lies, bringing out the scriptures, and telling them their downfall. You know, that's what we're doing. But they're ready to throw our asses in jail. They're waiting for the OK sign and come out and roll up with big guns, because that's what they want to do. You know, shoot us down. You know, that's what they really want to do. But yeah, man, it's gonna be beautiful with the spiritual powers, man. They can prevent you from standing in the land of the standing with the glory of God, you know.
I mean, visualizing myself how I would be like, you know, bullets flying at me, they just start evaporating before they even get to me.
No, you know what?
Or
though?
stop it.
Yeah, I would like to, I like to stop. You know, they fire the shot like that. They fire a shot, you know, like bah, and then the bullet just froze, you know, just freeze
Like
there.
the Matrix.
And you know, everything's what the bullet is like there. The person is panicking, the soldier's panicking. He's like, what the fuck? The bullet won't go. Every bullet that he fly, that he shots, it's going to stay still.
Matrix.
Froze, and I just slow, calm and collective towards them. You know? Then destroying starts. Huh? Nee, die film, dat is bij idee spiritual powers.
Yeah, we believe these things, man. We really believe, hey, we're going to receive spiritual powers, man.
Exactly, man.
We just hope that we have the number. We gotta write this out because, hey, we need to be
Exactly, man. Yes, man. Devil is busy, he's busy making moves with that video clip in South Africa and social media. He's not wasting time, you know, like the scripture said in Revelation, you know. He knows his time is short. He knows his time, so he's making moves, rapid moves. They're like, okay, what's the next move? And now it's just, a lot of people are already scared to go outside, you know, what's the next move? Basically, the vaccinations, you know.
It's Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Exactly. Those elites know that they gotta make their moves now. They're busy, man. Those nations gotta be, you know, the Most High is roasting and up. I read his busy, you know, last they're busy, you know. They're busy, you know. And Israel's looking to Iran, you know, ready to strike them, you know. Iran is looking to America, ready to strike them, you know. Russia has helped, Syria, Iran, you know. He's you know, siding up with all those enemies of America, you know. And on the other side, they still want to make a truce with Biden, you know. But there's a lot of shit going on behind the curtains, you know. And hopefully there's going to be a year when the war pops off, and they're going to make this RFID chip mandatory, you know, because they're busy with that, you know, because they're already talking about, you know, you got here in Holland, they already like government things of the government, you know, because you got the stuff, I call that the government, I call that, yeah, government officials, like, you know, you go where you need to go for your driver license and stuff, you know.
DMV.
Yeah, it's not especially deep, but all those, you know, the companies of the government, you know, they can decide for themselves, you know, and they can let a local judge decide, you know, for the area if they have to accept cash money, yes or no. So they can decide already for themselves. That's official. So that shows you that they can make this because they do that. So, you know, you got that, like the city, that's like the city hall, go there, yeah, oh, so, so like you have to go to the city hall for your driver license, you know, whatever, stuff like that, so they can decide, like, okay, they're going to take this and this. So there are certain places here in Holland already where you cannot pay with cash money, you know, so they are allowed to do that. They can just refuse cash money, so that, you know, already know, you know, you know, Yahweh Tazam, that's Second Corinthians 12, Second Corinthians 12, First Corinthians 12. Say, like, yeah. Second Corinthians 12, this verse. I always mix it up. I'm like First Corinthians or Second Corinthians, you know. Then I know the scripture, but then I don't know if it's the first one or the second. But you know, I think it's second. That's the second. Second Corinthians.
I was right there. I was on the 12. Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices.
Exactly, and that's talking about the elect, you know. The election have obtained it, the rest were blinded, you know. So that's talking about the election. Through the spirit of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, we see what's going on. Like I said earlier, you know, you got people just walking. This and another example. I just want to speak on that. Suppose I give you 3 persons, you know, with a face mask, showing you the stupidity of the people, you know. I just want to say, like, yeah, I just thought about like say that 3 persons.
They're walking by.
Always throwing examples, man. So like,
Black bitch, you know, boom, all of a sudden you see like 2 or 3 of them walk by.
exactly, man. So like I said, you know, we are not blinded with devices. You know, we are not, you know. Of course, we hear the words that Mother Kunta is speaking, but we know that he's lying. He's talking about the future that we see, but he's planning. You know, the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. While people are stupid, wearing those face masks all day, you know, breaking down the whole immune system, you know, making themselves more vulnerable for those diseases and stuff, for bacteria and all kinds of, you know, getting the food because the food doesn't exist anymore, you know. It's only processed, you know. There's no more food. A cold cannot, and that's funny, because one of the brothers shared a clip, you know, in the group, they you had Mark Cutter talking about a female. She was asking him if he ever had himself tested, and he never took a test, you know. But he got a commercial on the radio, and I'm gonna, Yahuwah are gonna make a video about that later or tomorrow. It was already in my spirit. I saw the clip, I'm like, man, that's a video right there in the Dutch, for the Dutch, because this dude is talking about he never let himself test it. But you got a commercial, and I heard it on the radio yesterday. I heard it like, if you got a snot nose or a little bit of cough, I don't know, get yourself tested. Even if you got no symptoms, just test yourself because you might have it and you could harm somebody in your environment, you know. That's yeah, I know it's stupid, but that's what they say. But Mark Cutter was saying by himself, he was saying like, yeah, I don't have no symptoms, so there's no reason for me to get tested, you know. Those were the things that he was saying. Yet they want the people, the common people, to run and get themselves tested, you know.
Because they say, okay, like you were talking about, right? So it's like this. The most deadliest virus.
Exactly. Only
The most
give you,
deadliest virus.
only give
You
you
gotta
snot
take
nose.
a test to know. You gotta take a test to know that
If
you
you
got
got
a
it.
deadly virus.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But it's safe enough that the military is gonna make you take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that's so funny, man.
Ironic.
This virus is so deadly, you know. This virus is so strong. It took away the having a cold. It took away the flu. You know, it eliminated the flu. You know, the flu it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's only Ronas, you know.
Yeah.
And this virus is so dangerous. It can give you a snot nose.
Yeah, man. Headache,
You know,
headache.
it can give you a snot nose. You can wake up one day, have a little bit of snot in your nose.
And it's a fire.
That's
That's enough to know.
that's
Hey, you
dangerous,
better
man.
get it.
Yeah,
That's
man.
dangerous, man. You can use a hanky and blow your nose,
Yeah.
but it's dangerous, man. You better get yourself
Yeah.
tested.
Wear a mask.
Yeah, man.
Wear a mask to be safe. Better to be safe as
Sorry, yeah,
Well,
man.
wear your mask and you're gonna be sorry.
Yeah, man.
Shalom, man.
Hashem Yahushai, Barak Kadash, Barakatah.
It's more dangerous to catch a fire than
Shalom, Hashem Yahushai, Barak Kadash, Barakatah. How are you doing, Akia?
Yeah, man.
Shalom,
A little bit cold, but you know,
Yeah,
no complaining.
Yeah,
Good.
you know, but this, hey, you know, the thing is, hey, our hands is hurting and suffering, but soon enough, I'm going to have fire in my hands that are, I
Yeah.
can feel it, man.
You
It's
know,
just the fire. That,
But you know what is dope, you know, about doing this work also, because we're on the outside, you know, every week in the cold. So before we get cold, it's already on a high level cold, you know. I can also see it on my job. Sometimes I just walk around in my sweater. They be wearing their coats and they be looking at me like a so-called Negro. I work with farmers, you know. They're looking at me like a so-called Negro, like just walking in a sweater. They're like, man, it's fucking cold, man.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
you have cold? I'm like,
Nah.
you know,
You
it's
don't
okay.
know. You don't know.
And you know, hey, soon when you know when shit hits the fan, when there's no more electricity, you know, when you cannot put on your heater, you know,
ain't got no fire still.
yeah, you got a
Fireplace.
fire. If you got a fireplace, at a certain point, the wood is gonna be done away with. You ain't gonna have no wood, you know.
What are you
Right,
gonna do
man.
to cut things
Yeah,
down?
how you gonna stay warm, you know?
Curfew.
Exactly. You ain't allowed to go outside.
Well, just think about it, right? When the storehouses are closed, right? And you ain't working no more, how you gonna pay for rent? How you gonna pay for your
Exactly.
mortgage?
They fuck everything up.
You're getting approved, man.
Yeah, they kick you
And-
out.
And then,
Yeah, man.
look, like you look out the window. The window is this thin from the outside. So for us, we're already out here dealing with the things. When they are outside, literally, the whole family out there
Hey,
in the
like
street,
5 minutes, it's
Yeah,
done.
man.
It's done.
they're howling and crying.
Yeah, man.
We'll take the vaccine. Come
And,
on.
Yeah.
and don't forget, you know, they're going to be in high stress, and stress also fucks your body up. You know? It's gonna go downhill quick. You know.
This is
Yeah.
I got scripture.
God.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, because that also reminds me of also another article. I made a video on that in the Dutch. There was an article talking about schools and restaurants. You know, there was an advice that somebody gave to Minister De Jonge. They gave an advice to allow schools and restaurants to ask people for an vaccination proof of vaccination, you know. So that's their next step, you know. We already knew that was coming,
just see somebody with a matching mask.
Yeah, exactly. You see that often, you know.
Hey, the whole face covered, like from here, the whole pink mask with the pink hat, the pink coat, and the pink shoes. I'm like, this is crazy.
It's a little
People
piggy.
make it a fashion.
So,
It's just funny.
yeah, man. But you know, so that shows you, and soon it's gonna be like, you know, like companies, you know, it's gonna be time. We already knew that before this Rona's even kicked out. You know, we were talking about that they're gonna do that with the chip, but now it seems like they're gonna start earlier before the chip is even here. They're gonna start with that, you know, because they're gonna use the vaccinations as a good a weapon, you know, a way to force you into it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a day that maybe the job that you got, that they're gonna be like, okay, if you don't got this, if you don't take this vaccination, then you can be working here, you know, because they throw it under safety, you know. They care about each other and stuff, you know. You know, like they're saying all day on the fucking radio, care about each other.
Yeah.
You know, if you think you got Ronas,
Yeah.
get yourself tested. You know, care about each other. Esau don't care about you, man.
Yeah, man.
He's the motherfucking devil.
That's right.
He don't care about you. The only way he cares about you being dead, man.
Yeah, man.
He wants you dead, man.
You know that the article about these places going under Article 34. Remember in the group chat, brother posted it. It's about basically if you're suspected of having the C-19, they can snatch your butt up.
Oh,
put
yeah,
you-
yeah.
In
put
the
you
camp.
That is
FEMA camp, yeah.
That's basically it, man. That you were talking about. That's basically it. You know. So it's about caring, right? So soon there's going to come a time where if you don't take this vaccination, you are a threat to society. You could be
Exactly.
suspected. You're a suspect.
Yeah, it's like one of the brothers said, you know, in the beginning of this, in the circus, you know, he had only a few people wearing face masks, and everybody was looking to them funny. But now it's the other way around. If you don't wear those things, you know, people are looking at you like, oh man, are you not afraid? Or you're kind of, I said that, you're kind of bad boy or something. You're a terrorist or something, you know, for not wearing a face mask, you know.
They look at you like you're the reason it's still here.
Exactly, man.
It's funny how they were making fun of the Moabites. Remember the Moabites? They always making fun of these Chinese people. They always wear this stupid mask on their face. Now look at just
Yeah, man.
make sure you
Same
put on
way
your
like
mask.
It's satanize your hands, you know.
Yeah.
I saw Jake in the Walmart in America. He dumped a whole bucket of water on this guy because he wasn't wearing a mask. He threw a whole water. Wow, hit him. I told you put your mask on, bro. You know, I was like, man, y'all bugged the hell out, man. Bugged the hell out, man.
That's messed up.
Yeah. Crazy.
The same bagger again, same load on.
Yeah, we get a job.
Bagger, man. Yeah,
This
man.
dude can get a job.
Of course.
He can walk
Everybody
around
got to
all
work.
day, walk around all day begging, but he can't go look for a job.
Of course not. He needs his dope, man. Smoke on the corner.
Yeah, man. Living from high to high.
Get that cooked out shit, you know.
Let that demon possess him and shit.
That's spirit
He's
cooking.
got the morning thing on the
Yeah. And he need to get his hit, then he can function. Fuck that shit, man. Just drink some beer and stop shaking. Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man. Hey, these devils, you know,
It's
they're
more of
about
them,
to
man.
make some moves, you know, because when they make this thing, you know, when the companies, because they basically already let it open for the companies to decide for themselves. You know, they say like they cannot force people to do that, but you know, they just throw it on the safety, and then they can do it. You know. For example, like the video that you sent, you know, on your job, how they measure your temperature. It's like a songbird, you know.
That's messed up.
But you have to do that
Yeah, I have to.
when you arrive at the job, or
When I arrive to my job, I go through a gate. Then I have to get through another gate with the chip. Okay? So I have to use a chip to get into a gate to drive in to the bar. Then I have to go through use a chip again to go through another gate. Then I have to go inside this booth to wash your hands. Then I have to go through another machine to put fucking
Sanitize.
satanizer in your hand. You have to.
Satanize.
Then when you go upstairs, then there's people waiting there, and there's 2 screens. You look in, and it's a facial recognition also, and it's a temperature check. And it says your temperature out loud. Your temperature is regular. Your temperature is regular. And then you have to use another chip to go in the locker room. So this whole system is being set up for that new world order.
Yeah, man.
Exactly, man.
You know, and people don't realize that this C-19 is an agenda, and it's basically a reason
For them.
to bring it, because now they can say if you don't get right, they could say, okay, the reason why we have an economy collapse is because of the C-19. Look, all the ways are shut down. And it was already there.
And they were already talking about how this cash money, how this Rona sits on it for months, you know. So people are, the majority of people are already afraid of that, because I remember in the beginning time, you know, you can only pay with your bank card, you know, without touchless, you know, you could pay touchless, and it was only like 25 euros, you know. And then this circus started, so they raised it up like 50 euros, and now they make it like 75 euros before. And then afterwards, after when you reach like 55 euros, then you have to then you do your PIN code, you know. After your PIN code, then you can go another way for 75 euros, you know. So they're letting the people get used only by swiping, you know. And yeah, they're playing it smart.
But
You know, like the scripture said, if it were possible, they would, deceive
the very elect.
deceive the very elect, you know. But yeah, we are of that number, you know.
Yeah.
And they are not, it's not possible for them to deceive us, you know. The spirit of Yahweh, Basham Yahushua, we see what's going on, but they try, you know, and, you know, we're going to be one step ahead of it, you know.
I got a scripture.
God.
This is John chapter 10, verse 29. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand.
Exactly. Those who were elected, you know, there's no way that they can get them away from Yahweh Basham Yahushai, you know. They were elected. Yahweh already have gave them to Yahushai, so you know, we are his, you know. That's it. We are his.
Right. So did you want to go back into these females? Isaiah 4, off of Isaiah 4:1, because I could drop this other one.
No, I don't really want to go and fuck those females, man. I already said what I want to say about those females, you know. Now it's only sit back and watch the show, you know, because soon it's going to be a lot of crying, and not crying of joy, man. It's going to be a lot of females in pain and being sorry, you know. And especially if you have a man of the Lord, you know, you got to hold on him with both hands. Hold him tight, you know, make sure, don't give him a reason to kick your ass out, you know, because, you know, the scripture said, don't put away your wife like this, but if you're not doing the things you're supposed to do as a female, and the man of the Lord puts you away, don't think that the Most High going to help you, let you find another man of the Lord, you know. They're going to know. You know, through the spirit of Yahweh, Basham, Yeshua, they're going to know that you're not right, you know. There's something off.
Yeah, it was the spirit. One time, I was on this site, and I was talking to this girl, and the spirit told me, hey, brother, this is one of the brothers, they're serious. So, and then also his brother too. So then he asked me, he's like, so what girl is this? And I told him, and I showed him, and he was like, that's my ex. I was like, oh shit, the spirit told me already to want to ask you already.
Yeah.
You know? But the spirit already brought it out.
Exactly. That's how the Most High works,
Most
man.
High, man. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man. So, you know, even that the female think like, okay, man, I
And she
still...
knew
Yeah, exactly.
it was me.
Exactly. She
It's
thinks
with him.
she thinks like, oh, I still got a chance of salvation.
I'm gonna
You know?
hurt him even worse.
Yeah, or
By getting
that's
somebody-
also, yeah.
get close to somebody.
Yeah, get with his ex, you know.
Cause division.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's a demon, man.
Exactly. He was love to do that shit.
Yeah, man.
But they're gonna be on their position soon, man. Rubbing the floor on hands and knees, cleaning the floor, man. That's a good position for a female, you know. Cleaning the floor.
that scripture.
God.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Yeah, man, when Yahushua is coming back, then they're going to realize, like, oh shit, all the things that he was talking about was true. Now it's really, hey, there's a lot of people going to be, they're going to be scared and ashamed, because you got still people believing in this white devil. They still think that Yahushua is a so-called white man, Jeebus. They still pray on Jeebus, And when they're going to realize it's going to, it's about dark people, about so-called Negroes, Latinos, so-called Indians, Indianos, that those are the real children of Israel. When they're going to see that, hey man, people are going to shit themselves, They're going to feel so fucked up and realize that there is no, that they're done, They're going to realize that they're done. It's over,
It's like, those that afflict us, they don't realize, hey, they're afflicted, man. You know what I mean? And then when that day come, man, all them fucking heathens, you fucking demons and shit that have been basically tormenting the men of the Lord by your false accusations,
exactly.
your bullshit that you talk about, demonizing us, you're gonna be in great fear, man.
No, that's true, man. They're going to realize, and they're going to be like, shit, man, I fucked up. Like in a movie. You fucked up right now.
You be looking all normal, then power up.
You fucked up, right? You fucked up right now. You fucked up right now. Just only by seeing that there's going to be a time, when the men of the Lord is going to be beamed up. You're going to see chariots, so-called UFOs, everywhere. The whole sky is filled with it, You see the elect men being beamed up. You see elect men with spiritual powers, You see police soldiers shooting at them. Nothing is happening to them. You see a man walking through a building. I mean, like,
yeah, that's
you see that wall,
that's
slow walking.
That's Fist of the North Star. Remember? He was just walking.
Yeah, man.
And the whole building came down on his
Collapsing. And just keep on walking.
And it kept cracking, but he walked right through it.
Exactly. And you only going to be like this, get the dust off your shoulder. Get the dust off.
Put that JC song on.
Let me grab that.
It's going to be so dope. Hold on, this is something. Hold it.
I was going to get no weapons.
Because the end shall prosper.
Was it Isaiah, right?
Isaiah.
Hey, these are beautiful things that we speak upon, man, because these things are going to happen, man. Regardless of what you say, man, these things are going to occur.
Yeah, man. Because, like I said, but even when this circus started, when this so-called Ronas broke out, then people suddenly start fearing, and they be like, oh, it's real, They're like, oh, it's real, man. Something's happening. What must we do? But now they're already on the level like they're used to it, and they think they see this, they're busy with vaccinating all over the world, so they think like soon everything's going to be like normal, Like, yeah, man, that's crazy, man. People are really simple, man. Another thing also that a clip that I saw last week, also spoke about it last week, but it still surprised me that people are so stupid, because you had I believe it was a baseball match in America, and they had a dog sniffing Ronas. People had to stand in line, and they had a dog that they normally use for drugs, and that dog was sniffing up the Ronas, and that's funny. That makes no sense, because normally a narcotic dog, he has to be trained like at least 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and then they're gonna use it on for example, on an airport, and he's still gonna be trained every day, in order for him to find those narcotics, to sniff those narcotics. And they were talking about that it only took them a week to from a narcotic dog to sniffing up aronas, you know.
It's crazy, man.
That means, yeah.
crazy.
But people are buying that shit, you know. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, and how the fuck the disease not even existed for a year. It doesn't even exist for a year. Yet you have a dog already able to sniff it. It just makes no fucking sense.
It just shows you, hey,
Tons of garbage.
it doesn't make no sense. But the thing is, it's like we live in the age of information, you know. A lot of people, it just shows you that it's simple, man. The scriptures talk about that, you know, in Proverbs chapter 14 and 15. Remember real quick? The simple believers every word.
Yeah, but that's because you know I believe Tuesday is going to be another speech of this market or not.
Probably.
I don't know, because he also had a speech last time. Yeah, I believe Tuesday because Wednesday supposedly this curfew needs to be
Oh,
going
yeah,
back.
yes,
You know, so Tuesday he's going to have another speech, and people believe every word he said because they were already saying like, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to turn back the curfew because now we have the British variant of this Ronas, you know, and there's more, more containers than the other one, you know.
Now,
It's funny because they're even saying that the British variant is very containment amongst the children.
Children,
So
yes.
they target, contagious. So they targeting the children right now, you know, because the first wave was like there was no harm for the children, only for especially for the elderly people, you know.
Yeah.
Now they like, oh shit, the children need to be tested too, you know, and they got like a cotton woolly, woolly. It's like a lolly. It's like a lolly, you know. It's like a lolly, but with cotton in it, and the people the children have to chew on it and leave the saliva in it, and then they can test the children of the COVID-19. And these things, you know, because and I also made a video on that because those are the things that they are busy with in Holland, and what they're planning to do. What they're planning to do is, this Monday, the schools going to start here, and what they want to do is, when the children go to school, and there's one child, if they say that they got the number 19 and all the children got to go to school, they got to stay home for 5 days, and after 5 days they want the children to take the test. So I already went into it because I got children, you know, and I went into it, and I already saw it's not mandatory for a child to take that test, you know, it's not mandatory yet, because that day will come,
yeah.
you know, so, yeah.
They don't want people to submit. That's why
Exactly,
they're slowly breaking down the whole system so they can break the people and have them submit.
And they use their favorite weapon, and that's the fear. People, out of fear, people will do it. You know, majority people, they will do it because they are so afraid, so scared of having a snot nose, you know.
Not only fear, but also with depression, you know.
Yeah, also the rest,
You know what I mean? Because the people are broken down in the nihilist mode. People are just going to do anything they can possible for things to go back to normal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But they will take the test more out of fear for having it, you know.
Of course.
Because that's the fear that they have now, you know. Because the vaccination is not available for everybody yet, you know. So that's also something that they look towards, like it's something special, you know. So.
Ik heb die peper dan, Kill.
Ja, joh.
Maar dan je moet een nieuwe badge hebben. Als je even gewoon niet blijft gooien, dan moet je me zeggen. Want ik heb nu gewoon wel een bandje zo.
Ja.
Maar ik wil weer.
K.
We moeten nog even wat sturen zo, maar het duurt allemaal lang in de doos en zo.
Maybe we go teach over there too, because we have to do the sickness. Right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we can move over there, man. It's better.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, this
the
side?
wind.
Oh, okay.
You seek out a nice spot because you see they are gonna stand on our spot. So a nice spot. So take their spot. So we're gonna move a little bit because you know where we're standing it's very windy, and now it stopped raining. Later's gonna be hella snow here in Holland, you know. So they're already preparing, you know, like freezing cold flows like Moscow. So they are expecting a lot of snow, you know.
Hey, with the
Trains, they already said that the trains will stop earlier from driving and stuff, you know. And like tomorrow they say it's gonna feel like minus 20 and stuff, you know. So yeah, we're gonna see about that, you know. So yeah, man. So that thing is, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, but soon, you know, people gonna realize who the men of the Lord are, who the chosen, you know, who the chosen are, and you know which nation is important. Because right now we the till, but it's gonna be the other way around. So what's it? Huh? Yeah, a little bit. I think because they're gonna stand there. Yeah, you good, right? Yeah.
Put it over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. God, what were you reading? That's what Mr. Solomon.
I got Proverbs real quick.
Oh yeah, God. Oh yeah, this is too many.
Right, and then I got Isaiah 54.
Oh yeah, God. Yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going.
Exactly, yeah, man. Yeah, the simple believe every word. So they will hang on and I say that believe every word that this Mark Kutte shall utter, you know, that he shall say, and you know, and hang on to it, you know. But it's also funny because a lot of people are kind of revolting here in Holland, you know, and that's dope to see, you know, how they're going against, you know, you know, you got this channel, the captain, you know, I like the channel, you know, because it shows you a lot of demonstrations, all the stuff that they been going on, and they also plan like a demonstration also tomorrow in my the place where I'm from. Also last week they also had one Sunday, and I saw a clip like the end. They had the military police, the MA, they came at the end. You know, the people, yeah, the MP, the people were just calm and collectively going away, and then you had the military police taking stands, taking positions and stuff, you know, ready. And then the NOS came up, you know, the fake news and all the shit, the fake news channels. They were the press, you know, they were all standing. Yeah, the press, you know, they were all standing there ready to get some action. They came with the shields and the battle sticks. There was no nothing going on, no violence, nothing. It was really calm. They came there, and the female was filming it, and they told her to move from that location. And she was like, "But this is a public location. I'm allowed to standing. We just standing here and talking. We're not doing any harm." He was like, "Yeah, but you still got to move, you know, because." You know, all geared up, you know, and she was filming like, you see that, you know, we had a calm demonstration, you know, there was no violence, everybody behaved themselves, you know, and see how they come, and they had a lot of vans, you know, rolling up, you know, they were all, you know, like standing in formation and stuff, you know, me making the front line and stuff, you know, nobody was there, the field was empty, man, it was so they were looking for some action, but you know, but we already know about those Romeos and stuff, you know. Think about the distance, you got some 5-0 over there. It's gonna be a time, you know, you're gonna see a car like that, you're gonna be like, going over there, you know, take that car, you know, and just throw it. It's gonna, they sitting in the car like, you know, you just throw the car towards the building and stuff.
I
It's
would
gonna
like
be
to
funny, man.
take my mace and just smash the whole engine to the ground, you know, like a soda can. You know,
Yeah.
smash it.
And the throwing is
Throw
dope,
it
man.
over the car.
The throwing is dope because the car ain't supposed to fly. You know, you throw a car, you know, and you know you throw far away or high. You know, and the person that is shitting himself in the car, you know, having the seat belt on, no way. You know, you cannot jump out of your car. There's nothing you can do, man.
Like the Hulk, man.
You know how you get the
Hulk.
when the jet's flying, right? You got, what is it called when they get that pressure?
Oh, the
Yeah.
G-force.
They got G-forces, so they're like, you know, they're feeling all these G-forces and shit, and they're like, ah!
Wow, man. It's gonna be so funny, man. It's gonna be so funny. Yeah.
Can I also add on to the simple belief in every word?
Come.
You know, and that's the thing, the problem with our people, you know, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, which are the biblical Hebrew Israelites. You know, you have a problem when the men of the Lord are speaking these words, which is truth, man. You know, we're reading from the Bible. A lot of y'all say that you're of the Most High and believe in the Most High and His Son, but when we speak these words, you're contrary to everything that is written therein, man. But then when you listen to the news and shit like that, you believe all this regurgitated shit, man. And it is regurgitated shit. This fucking puke upon puke and puke. And that's what you guys are eating up, man. Y'all eating up that bullshit, man. But when it comes to this truth, which is good food, man, as it talks about in Isaiah 55:1, you know, y'all smack the plate away, man. Despise it.
I want to rebuke him. That's
Hey,
why I
shalom.
walked in.
Hey, Salakia.
Good test answer.
Huh?
Beautiful test answer.
I thought it was it this week?
Yeah,
Hey, this week? Time goes by so fast, man. Anyways. Right. Isaiah 54, verse 17. Right. No weapon that is formed against you, against these shall prosper.
Exactly, man. So, and we're gonna receive the spiritual powers, you know. There's gonna be no weapon that they can use against us. There's gonna be nothing that they can do against us. They're gonna come with their Pee-wee guns. It's gonna do nothing. They're gonna shoot others at us with a rocket launcher. We're gonna play with that shit, you know. You know, the scripture said, "You shall meditate therein." Man, we're gonna, you know, even now we still, you think about all kinds of stuff you want to do with them, you know. You're gonna have fun, you know. You want to fight. You want to see those brave soldiers, you know. And that's funny because yesterday there was this dude at my job. He was talking about his son, being in the army, and I was thinking to myself, man, hey, that would be dope if I could play with him, you know, at the time of spiritual powers. You know, I was already visualizing myself with him being in the army, you know, because he was, you know, he was not too long in the army, you know, and he was about to go to Curacao for training, and afterwards to another place, and then this dude was talking like, yeah, then we're gonna see what's gonna be, because it could be like a peace mission, but it also could be like with enemies. I'm like, there's never a peace mission, you know, first and foremost. They're always talking about so-called peace missions. They only come to rape, rob, and murder, you know. That's what they're doing. So it's never a peace mission. But I'm like, yeah. And as soon he and his friends, his dear beloved friends, gotta fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels and the men of the Lord, you know. that's gonna be hella funny, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be visualizing myself getting vengeance when it's allowed. You know, when Yahweh desire receive spiritual powers, you know, like my ex-demon, you know, that took my child from me. You know, sometimes I be visualizing, like, you know, I'm inside the house and she's gonna snitch on to the military on me. You know, like, I'm gonna tell that you know that you're here, and I'd be like, look outside. She looks outside, everyone is dead.
yeah.
I'd be like, I look at her face like,
Yeah, that's dope, but
I did that. Did you know that?
You-
Who are you gonna tell?
you know,
gonna
she's
call?
going to be like, the military. She see them coming as soon as they get out the cars and stuff. You know, they just drop dead. You know, like, instantly. You know.
Now she's afraid.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? She's destruction. Every car is burning. People are cut up in pieces, blood all over the place, goods all
People
over.
just exploding and shit. You know.
You see one guy who's just like crawling.
Yeah,
Hold on a minute, I'll be right back. She sees me walk outside, crush his head.
Yeah,
You
where
know,
were we?
come walking back inside. So what did you say?
Yeah.
You know, hey, I dream about these things all the time, man. I hope that it, you know, comes to pass. And that's the thing about being of the hopeful elect. We hope because these are the things that we are working for, man.
Exactly, man.
For salvation, to be redeemed.
And for revenge, man.
Yeah.
You want to take revenge, man. All those shit, all those songs that you make, you know, all the, you know, when you think of yourself that you're better than us, you know.
Yeah, for standing up for righteousness.
Exactly,
For Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because, you know, the things that upon this earth is all done in evil and wickedness, man. Got a lot of hypocrites and fucking demons out here on some bullshit, you know. These are the things that we have to deal with. But, yeah, we wait to avenge, you know what I'm saying, not of ourselves, but when the Lord blesses us with the gift to do so, hey, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man, because what we stand up for is for righteousness, man.
Exactly.
We want righteousness to dwell upon this earth.
Exactly. What does the scripture say? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, you know. And everybody, the animals, the nature, everybody is mourning. Because the wicked are in authority, the wicked are ruling, you know. Everything, the whole planet Earth is in pain, you know. Animals are suffering. Water is polluted, you know, the environment. They, you know, Shell polluting. Okay, you know, I saw an article now. Shell have to pay the farmers in Nigeria, you know. So some things came out, and but they've been doing that all over the world, you know. And Shell is from Holland, you know. So these devils here in Holland, they got a lot to pay for because they acting all innocent, like they are a small country.
Yeah,
they
man.
didn't do so much, man. Hey, don't forget, those Dutch people were the first ones who sent a slave ship from Africa to America.
Yeah,
They
man.
were the first ones,
man.
and they were the last ones
To abolish
who
it.
stopped with slavery.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, they went on at least for another 10 years, where all the other Edomites stopped with it.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
they went on for 10 years at least.
So I think about how rich these kings are.
Exactly. That's why they got a
their
lot of
own
money.
Yeah,
You
they
always,
got their own money.
yeah, because and they always like to talk about old money and stuff because. And don't forget, these Dutch people, they in Amsterdam, you still have the building of the old cocaine factory. You know, they had a cocaine factory during the First World War. They were making cocaine and selling it to both sides, and they give it to to both sides.
Yeah, man.
Give it to their soldiers, so they give the soldiers cocaine so they can, you know,
morale and-
they don't need much food. They got more energy. They go on. They have no fear. You know, they had because in that time they had Indonesia. They had that as an how you call that?
Batavia.
Huh?
Batavia.
Yeah. In that time they had Indonesia. Indonesia was their colony. Klemtoon.
Colony.
That's a new word. You know what I'm saying?
Colony.
That's special English. Special. Yeah, here. So they got Indonesia and they got there. They were growing the how you call those plants?
Opium?
No, from where they make cocaine from. It's,
Coca.
cacao, the cacao.
Coca trees.
Coca trees.
Yeah.
So they were planting the coca trees over there because they have a good temperature over there. So they were making the trees over there, and they,
Similar to Colombia.
yeah, it's like a tropical weather there.
Yeah.
You know? So they, and then they had the factory here in Amsterdam, and then they were manufactured. You know, and you had
Yeah,
a
man.
video about it. Was a person who went into it. It was an how you call that? It was an wagwan youth. And there was a journalist. He was going into it. He was going into it in some program, but they were cutting him short. You know, they didn't want. You know, they want to hide all the dirt that they've been doing. You know, like they got the golden couch that they got. You know, now they are restorating it. You know, fixing it up. So normally, once a year, you got the queen and the so-called king. You know, they drive around in the city of Den Haag, and they go in a golden couch and wave to the people, and then they come with some fucked up new chains. You know, it's always about money. You know, people start waving to them shit, and they got paintings on the side of slaves. You know,
Yeah, man.
they got one painting. You got, and that's for Suriname. You got Jake. His hands are tied to his back, and they got like a big fishing hook, and that's under his rib. And I'm thinking about it might have even been under the fifth rib because they are really satanic. They take things of the Bibles, they take it out of the Bible, and they use it, you know. And I'm thinking about they might even do it under the fifth rib, you know.
I was thinking about it too.
And you know, because I'm just, it just hit me because
Yeah,
I was
me
thinking
too.
like, because they, you know, they hang you on the rib because otherwise if it's just your flesh will tear up, you know, you will fall down. So they should hang him. He's still alive, you know, on the rib, probably the fifth rib. I'm not sure about that, but the
They probably
spirit had
made
me
sure
like,
that- yeah, the spirit.
Yeah.
The spirit wanted to say the fifth rib. I wanted to say that too. So
yeah,
spirit
probably,
revealing it.
probably
Make
is.
sure they didn't hit all the organs. You know, slide
Exactly,
it up like
yeah.
that. Bring
And
it
then,
back out.
yeah, and then they leave him hanging, put him on the tree, and they have a painting on that, on a golden couch, you know.
What
You
about
know,
that chariot?
and there was, yeah.
He's talking
and-
about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the golden couch.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
coach?
Coach.
Coach.
Yeah, coach.
Yeah, coach, golden coach.
Carrier.
Carrier, whatever. I don't want to call it a chariot, you know. A chariot is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but
No.
that's how
Yeah, I
they-
know.
We
Yeah.
make chariots.
Yeah, I know, but
Devils take everything that we make.
exactly, but you know, so they got it painted on the side, you know. I remember there was one Jake years ago. He spoke about it, but you know, they just silenced that, you know. He said one time he said something about it, but they don't want to talk about it, you know. And even I believe it was even Kutten who said like they ain't gonna change that because it's part of their
History.
So
Yeah, he said it. He
it
said
was
it.
Kutten, right?
Yeah, it was Rutte. Yeah.
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 Kutten.
Kutte,
Yeah,
Salakia.
Mark Kutten.
Can I say also about the cocaine factory?
Yeah?
The cocaine factory that
What?
was in Amsterdam.
He also said something about it.
No. The building is gone now. But you know the houses that they're building there?
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Oh, they broke down the building?
Yeah, they built
Because
houses.
I mean, like a couple of years, or maybe a year or 2 years ago, the building was still there.
Yeah.
The factory was still standing there, you know, in the original form.
Yeah, it was the terrain of the Hells Angels.
Now they broke it down?
And they broke it all down. And the housing places, you can buy like a kavel piece of ground, which is basically impossible in the Netherlands. And then you can buy it, and then you can build your own house over there.
Okay.
Yeah, big houses,
Build a
man.
house on that shit. 'cause
Yeah, but
got
they
a lot
also
of spirits
they
in
love
It
but they
is,
love
it
to
is.
do that because they also got the Bible buyers.
Same
They
area.
also it's the same area.
Same area, yeah.
Yeah, because they also make that in fancy apartments, you know.
Yeah, man.
Those are the things that they love to live. Look what they do, man. They live in America, man. They're living on stolen bread, ground,
Bloody.
you know. They got bones of slaves, of so-called Indians, you know, buried in the
build
ground,
churches on
and
top of
built buildings, built their buildings onto
man.
it, you know.
Yeah, man.
Because they are about this wickedness, man.
They want spirits.
They are about this is the scripture. Is it in Proverbs 24, 16 and 24 or something? About the wickedness that eat the bread of violence. I think it's Proverbs. Yeah, I know it's Proverbs, but I think it's chapter 16.
Let me finish Isaiah real quick.
Okay.
Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. So basically, hey, there's going to be a time when the men of the Lord are going to get spiritual powers, man. And those that have been, you know, talking this shit, scoffing, you know, you've been marked, man. And now when that day comes, man, it talks about in Ezekiel 9 and 4, you know, also Jeremiah 16 and 16, how we're going to be hunters. You know, we're going to hide, we're going to find you wherever you are, man. And you condemn, man. So meaning you're going to either go into slavery or you're going to be put to death, man. Okay? Most likely you're going to be put to death, man. Especially concerning our people, man, because the house of judgment is going to start in the house of the Most High, which is the house of Israel, man. You're going to be put to death, man. Thus saith the Bible.
Proverbs 4, starting from verse 17 and also 18.
So you had it backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not even
I do
close,
that.
man.
I do that too, man.
I
Especially
know
with
some verse,
Proverbs.
I was like,
I mean
this-
Isaiah 13 and 9. I always put Isaiah 9 and 13, or Matthew 13 and 7. I always get those things right.
God.
So this is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16.
What does 16 say? Oh yeah, 16. Okay, 16.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
Exactly. Okay, go quick to Micah 2:1 because that links up perfect. Because yeah, they all the plans that they got is to do something wicked. You know, don't think. You know, people always think like, okay, they so-called helping man. You got nowadays you got this commercial about Yemen. You know, you see the children they're starving of death, starvation.
Yeah.
There's a war going on, this and that. People don't have food. You know, you gotta help now. You know. Lindau Foundation is helping those people, you know, this and that. Send some money, and we can save the life of this little demon right here. This a Hamite anyway, but you know, we can save this life of this little baby. You know, you can help us. I'm like, okay, why are those people in that position first and foremost?
Yeah.
Ain't it for
Yeah, who
for you
create-
so-called white people?
Yeah, man.
But now you want to act all holy and you're a well-doer. You know, you want to help those
Yeah, man.
people, and they're like, yeah, and we know we want to help them, and we also want to educate them so that this won't happen again. Fucking bullshit. This shit will happen because you are interfering there. You know, every place that the so-called white man put down his food his feet up, is fucked up. He fucked it up. Everywhere.
We don't give a fuck about them heathens anyways, but it's funny because that's how these devils run, man. And we're just showing you the wickedness that they do, man.
Exactly.
They go in, they rape, rob, and pillage. Everywhere they go, there is hell and death that cannot be satisfied.
Spreading diseases and shit, fucking the people up,
Yep.
breaking down the whole foundation of the society of them, setting them up against each other, you know, divide and conquer. You know, that's what they're doing, and then they're gonna so-called start a peace mission, you know, sending out those UN troops over there. Yeah, we're there for the peace, you know. Yeah,
Fucking
military.
military, come on now.
Yeah, we're coming in with guns to bring you peace, to give you some rest, man. It's so, imagine yourself, you know, somebody, imagine yourself, late, middle of the night, you're laying in your bed, suddenly you hear somebody kicking down your door, coming in with a big gun and a couple of more soldiers, and like, hey, don't worry, man. I come here into your house to protect you and to give you some peace. Are you gonna be at ease?
Nah, man.
Doesn't make no sense, man. They just come into your house because that's what they're doing. They're just entering a country without permission to bring peace.
And that's you, Salaki.
Tell you what, rape your wife really quick.
Exactly.
She needs this dick real quick. Let me just help you out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Take all
Rape
your
children and
take,
shit.
Yeah, take all your jewelry, jewels,
Jewelry? Yeah,
all your
jewels.
jewels and stuff, everything you got of value.
Yeah.
You know, take your car and everything. You
Beat
know,
the shit out of you.
and you know, and then they put on some soldiers in your house and like, we will protect you and make sure that you're safe. You know, that's what he doing, man. That's what he been doing.
That's UN on the helmets because they are unable to bring peace.
They are unable, yeah.
Yeah, man, they're unable to bring peace, man. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but it's also funny because those soldiers, they are not allowed to shoot, you know. You got that movie, which movie is, I believe it's Black, what's the movie, that the movie about the diamond?
Blood Diamond.
I believe it's Blood Diamond, you got that scene that, you know, you see them bringing the food packages. And then you got the rebels, you know, they're coming in, taking the food packages, and those soldiers are just standing there with the gun, being idols, you know. Just standing there, not able to shoot, you know.
Being
It doesn't
idols.
make no sense, man.
Just like the Dutch with Srebrenica.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
were just standing there.
They were standing there watching how those children and all those men, everybody being shut down.
Yeah, man.
Because I remember, because there was a dude that I used to know who went to the war back then, and he came back he was all gone, you know. And then later I start understanding, like, okay, because that's the shit they, you know, and they also make them shooting children and stuff, you know. So of course you're gonna bug out, you know, because I also remember one story my mother was telling me about this female, this demonic Edomite, stupid female, you know, and I was left with my mother telling the story like, oh, that's good for her, man, because she also had a son, and there was also a coon. He were, coon, yeah. No, he's a Edomite, so he can't be a Sambo, you know, actually. But you know, he was some kiss, an ass kisser. You know, that's a better word, for lack of better words. So he was an ass kisser. I remember as a child, you know, there was snow there, snow in the street, and I want to go outside with the sleigh, you know, having some fun in the snow. And then you had this motherfucker taking a snow scoop, getting all the snow away from the street, so there was no more fun for the children there.
Best.
Those were the things that he was doing, you know. And I always hated him for that. So he grew up, he went into the army, and I remember one day I was, I believe, in my room, I was playing this bubbling music, you know, and she came to the door, you know, and I believe that I even opened the door. She came to the door and she was complaining if I could turn down that monkey music because she was reading in the yard and she couldn't focus because of the monkey music. So I was so fucking angry, you know, and of course I didn't turn down the music, I turned it up a notch harder even. You know, I'm like, fucking bitch. And then my mother told me that the son committed suicide. And she only had one son, you know.
Beautiful.
Her husband already died and all stuff, and the son committed suicide. I was like, that's
So her
dope,
monkey
man.
died. That's a real monkey.
Yeah.
Little fucking cave beast.
They always do that, man. They used to do that always, like talking about the monkey
Yeah, man.
music,
Yeah,
always
man.
trying to,
Yeah, man.
you know.
So that was dope. My mother was telling me that. I was like, oh man, that's dope, man. Oh, his son, he committed suicide. Oh, that's dope, man. Because you know, of
Did you
course.
say that to your mom?
Yeah, I said to my mom. She knows. Yeah, but yeah,
She don't care.
she's there's nothing new for her, you know. Because I'd be like, when I see some shit, I'm like, that's good for that person. This and that. I hate those heathens, you know. So. So I was really. Yes, yeah, my mother. Yeah, I don't know exactly when it happened, but my mother told me like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like really rejoicing over that, you know. And my mother was like, yeah, this and that, and she was telling me like, oh yeah, there was the female that came to the door talking about the monkey music, you know, like, oh, that's good for her, man. Good. And I think her monkey recently died or something, you know. Something like, I think because that's how the story started or something, you know, because she was talking about people dying and shit. You know, that's Jake, you know, Jake at a certain age, you know, they always talking about that person died.
Yeah.
You know,
Start to reminisce about people and shit.
yeah, that's what our people do, you know, the older generation, especially the females, you know, they always talking about who died, you know. That's the news, you know.
On the radio, crazy.
This is Micah chapter 2. I'm going to start in verse 1. We can go all the way through it.
First one, exactly. But we got first you go with 1, and then you go back to Proverbs, finish that, and then we got get back to Micah. You know what I'm saying?
Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Yeah.
When the morning is light,
Exactly.
they practice it.
And woe means lamentation, evil times, you know. So right now they're in good case, you know, doing all kinds of wickedness, thinking there's going to be no account for their deeds, you know. They're going to get away with it, you know. And you know, the fun part is they think they can go on with this shit forever, because that's how they feel inside. They think like they're kind of untouchable. Nobody, even if people see it, they do shit in your face.
Yeah, man.
They do shit in your face, and they're going to be like, we can do nothing about it. You know?
Now they do.
Huh?
Now they're still you know, doing a lot of things behind closed doors.
Of course, but they also do a lot of things in your face. For example, like everybody and like for example, everybody and the mamas know that the police in America hate so-called Negroes.
Yeah.
They hate Jake. Everybody and the mamas know.
We've been
They
knowing
know that they like to shoot on Jake for nothing. I saw that clip, and of course nobody perished innocent, but that also shows you there was a Jake. He was, I believe, he had also had autism or something. He was not, he was mentally ill, you know.
Yeah.
And the police just shot him, you know, because he came outside and he was all, you know how he couldn't control his movements and stuff, you know. And they shot him, and his mother and his sister were crying and shit, screaming. They shot him to death.
Yeah, man.
But
Shows you.
that's what they do. Because I also saw clips. You had Edomites coming outside the house, holding a knife or even with a gun,
Yeah,
and
man.
the police was just talking.
Yeah, man.
Come on, brother, put down your gun.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to harm you.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
want to shoot you. But when the Jake only comes out like this,
He's gone,
it's
man.
like
Yeah, man, he's gone.
What about
clip is empty. Grab another clip.
Yeah, fool it again, man. They got banana clips going on there,
Yeah.
shit, man.
there was an Edomite. He had a revolver and shit, and he was sitting there with a gun in the middle of the street, sitting in the chair, and they had a gun on him, and the sniper made sure he saved his life. He shot the gun out the Edomite's hand.
Yeah, man.
Shot the gun out
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Edomite's hand.
Yeah, then they
To
are
save
able
him
to
from
do it.
himself.
Yeah,
Then they are able to do it. But yet they have a Jake asking for his ID. As soon as he goes to his pocket,
They shoot
whoop,
him.
whoop, whoop,
Yeah,
I
man.
thought he had a gun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They're even shooting at children for playing in the backyard.
Yeah, man. The little girl that they maced, like this week, the 9-year-old.
Yeah, I
They
didn't saw
maced
the
the
clip.
girl.
I saw it came by. I had to watch the clip. But I already saw the title. I'm like, yeah, man, and still, that shows you the stupidity of our people. Still, they want to trust the so-called white man and think that he cares about you. Look what he's doing with you.
Yeah, man.
You had like there's a while ago, like little children, Jake children selling lemonade. They're getting arrested. And then you have the same thing with the
Oh,
Edomite
you
kid.
mean when she was calling the police on the kid for selling water on the corner?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we had multiple cases of that, They just arrest Jake, and then you have Edomites doing the same thing,
No problem.
and then the police is drinking the lemonade.
Yeah, man. Buying shit.
Buying it.
Yeah,
even,
man.
So, and still our people want to trust those devils, And that's, hey, if you trust your enemy, then you deserve to suffer from him. Like that female, they had parsley. That was like, I don't even wish this on my worst enemy. I'm like, man, that's good for you, man. Because we know, hey, we know you so-called black females, we know
Yeah, man.
you love the white man more than you love the so-called black man.
Yeah,
so
man.
you deserve that shit, It's good that he show you that love. At your face hanging this shit. Don't take the vaccine, and especially if you're an American, man. You know how many camps you got over there? You got in every state you got a camp, man. You got so many camps. You got in New York you got like 2 or 3 camps.
Even in Alaska, even in Anchorage, Alaska, man, you got a camp over there. I know where they teach, man.
You got
And
so
I know
many
how
camps.
it's cold over there. Negative 20 degrees. Brothers out there pushing the truth.
Exactly, man.
No excuse.
There's no excuse, man. So if you live in America and you still want to trust the so-called white people, man, because you got Biden and what's the bitch name, O'Hara or something? What's her name?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
She's not even a Jake, is she?
Kamala.
Kamala Harris.
She's
yeah.
a heathen too, right?
Nah, she's Jake.
She's Jake?
She's probably Jake.
Her pops is from
See that?
Jamaica.
Electric car. Electric. It's tough, huh?
Her mother is an Elamite.
Edomite sitting next to her. Edomite couple.
I'm gonna take the power. I'm gonna take the power from her.
Yeah, but those cars are funny, man, because they can even drive, especially with the cold, the electric cars, they can drive far, because the battery goes dead earlier, especially with the cold. These things are bullshit
But
anyway.
they go fast as fuck though.
Yeah, fast, but only lasts for a few minutes, man. Then you leave it. You got your gasoline car, you can go on. They have to make a stop and put in a quick charger. Wait for half an hour, then they can start chasing again.
But now
That's
but now the electric cars, they're more advanced now. They can
Yeah.
last longer.
Yeah,
I saw
it's nothing compared to gasoline cars.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
But if you charge it for the day, you could drive pretty much almost the whole day.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then
but
when you park,
If you fill up your car, you can drive for at least 2 days.
At least.
Yeah.
A good car, a real car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So, still,
Yeah, but still.
no.
Yo.
Nah.
Yo, I see the
I don't-
battery,
I
by the
don't-
way, man. It's
I
like one stripe.
Yeah?
Yeah, the battery.
Already. It's fast, man. Is it blinking?
No, it's not blinking, but it got one stripe and it's red.
Right. This is Micah 2-in-1. But yeah, anyways, about the electric.
Still going at it.
Battle. Then I catch a hot rebuke. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. You know, and when it's talking about evil upon their beds, it's talking about in a private area.
Yeah, but also like they dreaming about doing wickedness. You know, it's in their
Planning.
it's in the mind. It's in the mind. You know, they are not like the scripture said. There's no rest for them if they haven't planned or did something wicked. You know,
Right.
they have to do it, and you can see it as a small child. As a small child, you know, like the Psalms 58, I believe, or 48. You know, it already shows you like as soon as they're born, basically, they already see the wickedness of them. You know, it already shows. You know, because that's how it is.
When the morning is light, they practice it. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Exactly, because they're in rulership right now, so they can do that shit, and they can get away with it. You know. So that's it. You know.
Not so hard, my man.
Hey, shalom, man. Yo,
Ice cold.
Shalom.
Yeah, I already got the powers out. Ice sand. Remember that? Ice sand.
I sin.
Yeah, because the brother talk about he got everybody's powers. He's like, you talk about, oh, I got this power. No, that's my power. I already have that one. I already claimed a long time ago. You know, I've been in this truth longer than you, so yeah, I got all the powers. He'd be like, damn. So I was thinking, while we in the camp, I was thinking like, what power can I have that he don't have? I was like, I said, and then y'all started looking at me like, for real? Are you serious?
yeah, man. When he comes to blind you and give you some cold.
Because you know when you hit him with ice sand,
Yeah.
it's like sandpaper, but it's cold.
I mean,
And then when you defrost, you feel all the skin torn off the flesh, man.
yeah, it could work though.
It's special.
It could work.
Special. Then I come with fire sand after that. Turns into glass, you know.
Okay, you know what? I got an idea.
Idea.
Read the scripture.
Done. Leave it.
All right.
Right there.
Okay, hold that for a moment.